I'm going to walk you through how to format your annotated bibliography. So once you have your research question, all 3 of your article citations, your 3 précis paragraphs, your 3 reflection paragraphs, and your thesis, then you're ready to put all of those things together into the actual annotated bibliography. In the assignment, submit your annotated bibliography here. I've given you a template that you can use, and that's what I'll walk you through here. And so the template tells you where to paste in all of your work. But when you're pasting, your formatting is going to be messed up. So you will still have to fix some of the formatting, even if you do use the template. To do that, you can follow step by step along with this video. I'll walk you through how to fix it all. I've also given you 2 versions of formatting directions. The first one is more visual, so you can see what it's supposed to look like. And next to all of the pieces, it's got the directions for how to make it look like that. And the other version of the directions is like a step-by-step. So whichever way works best for your brain. Okay, in the template, everything that's highlighted yellow is something that you have to change. Once you've changed it, you will need to take off the highlighting, because when you turn in your annotated bibliography, nothing should be highlighted. So let's go ahead and start fixing some of this. So you'll type in your last name. It might be a good idea for you to pause the video and then do what I actually do and then resume the video so that you're caught up step by step. So once you've typed in your last name, you want to click on highlight and change it to none. So everything that's no longer highlighted should be something that you don't have to worry about anymore. It's done. With your page number, you know it's correct if you scroll down to the second page and it says 2 next to your last name now. So now I'm going to change the name. Take off the highlighting. Your paper probably still says 2020. I made a mistake, so you're going to want to fix the date. It's not due a year ago. It's due Friday. All right, so I have a student sample for all of these things to paste in. The first thing you'll want to do is go and find your research question. So formulating a research question document. So I'm going to copy the question, Control C, go back to my document, Control V to paste it. Don't worry about the formatting right now. We'll fix it all later. So no, it's not going to stay blue. We can change that later. Now I'm going to go get my 3 MLA citations. So, I should have fixed this because citation actually is this whole long thing. The URL is part of the citation. Okay, so for your MLA citations, you're going to put them into the document alphabetically based on either the first word or name of the citation. So in this case, the first word that appears is the last name, Green. This one is Carey, so C comes before G. This one, there's not an author, so the first word in this citation is video, so that one will be last. So I'm going to start with Carey because that is the first one alphabetically. Make sure you highlight the whole thing, including the URL, because that's all part of the citation. Control C. And then you need to highlight this whole thing because that's the whole citation. Control V. If you copy the whole thing, it should have that hanging indentation set up for you already. If not, I'll walk you through that. So this is called hanging indentation, the way only the first part, the first line is all the way left aligned, and then the subsequent lines are tabbed over one. So to get the hanging indent, if you don't have it already, and just notice this needs a period at the end, Okay, so you'll highlight it, click on Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options. Under Special, change it to Hanging, and then Apply. So then I'm going to get my second MLA citation, which is the, not VG, green. So copy that whole thing, including the URL, Control C. Make sure you copy the whole citation part here, all 3 lines, to swap out Control V. So yeah, this one for some reason did not do that hanging indent. So I'll highlight the whole thing, Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, Hanging, Apply. I've lost my double spacing here, but I'll come back and fix that later. And now I need my last MLA citation. This one's last because it's last alphabetically, V for video games. Control V, same thing happened, that period. So highlight that citation, Format, line spacing, align and indent, indentation options, hanging, apply. All right, so all 3 of my MLA citations are in. They're in alphabetical Carrie Green video. So I'm finished with that document. Next, I need to grab my précis paragraphs. So be very careful that you're going to put them with the correct one. So I've got green, Carrie, and then the video game one. So I'm going to get Carrie first. Go back to my template. Notice that the précis paragraph is here. So these, copy that whole little paragraph there, swap it out. I'm going to tab because it needs, so the only thing that will end up being left aligned is the MLA citations. The paragraphs, they need to be indented like normal, so just the tab in front, but they need to be moved over 1/2 inch. So what you do is you push this button, increase indent, and it'll scoot it over. So the body of your paragraph is supposed to be aligned with the subsequent lines of your MLA citation. It's called hanging indentation because it's like it's all hanging from the first line of that citation. I'll grab my other 2 précis paragraphs. Next one is green. So swap it out with that whole paragraph. Again, I'm going to tab to indent and then scoot the whole thing over with increase indent. Get my last one. Control C. Get it for my last précis down here. Control V. Tab. Increase indentation. Again, I'm going to fix all of the other formatting stuff later. I'm just really worried about the indentations right now. All right, done with the précis tab. So now I need my reflection paragraphs. Again, make sure you're going to pair up the right paragraph to the right article. So I want to find the first source first. Control C, go back up here to the Carrie article. Highlight the whole thing, Control V. So the same thing happened this time. So I want to tab like normal and then increase indent so it scoots over. So notice that these look like normal paragraphs here. The only difference is that they are not fully left aligned like you would have in an essay. So I'll get my next one. Tab over. And I will grab my third reflection paragraph. Tab, increase indent. Okay, So I can get rid of the reflection tab. The last thing I need is my thesis statement. Copy that. Where it says thesis, paste that there. Okay, so I have everything in. Now I've got my research question, my 3 citations, my 3 précis paragraphs, my 3 reflections, and my thesis down at the bottom. So this is all of my work that I've done. While it's still single space like this, it's really easy to see if you've done your indentation correctly. So only the research question, the beginning of the MLA citations, and then the thesis. Those are the only pieces, and the heading at the top, that should be fully left aligned. Everything else should be over by 1/2 inch. So if you need to move anything over, remember you click inside of that paragraph and you click increase indent. The paragraph should have a normal tab indentation at the beginning, just like you would be doing in a paragraph. All right, but now all of our formatting with line spacing and the font and everything is still wrong. So I'm going to edit, select all, format, line spacing, double. So everything looks correct. Notice that everything should be, all of your paragraphs and everything should be touching. There are only 2 places that have an extra space. You get to have an extra space before the thesis. This is all touching. Even the citations are touching. No extra spaces, except right between the heading and the research question. That's the only other spot that you have an extra line space. All right, I'm going to edit, select all again. All of my font needs to be Times New Roman. All of the size needs to be 12. And the color of the font, the text color, needs to be black. So this should be finished, except for this typo. All right, so this is what your annotated bibliography looks like. If you need to look at individual steps, you have the typed directions in 2 different formats, and or you can rewind and watch this video again. And then as always, email your teacher if you have any questions.